Let's continue performance testing types of non-functional testing types. The next one is volume testing. It checks how the system handles a larger amount of data, right? Remember, volume testing tests system performance with huge data, right? For an example, think about a system. You add millions of records to a database. Then check, is it slow? Can it handle data properly? And does it crash? Likewise, right? What are the purposes of volume testing? Test large data handling and check performance with big data sets and find database related issues. Think it's like a checking if a library can handle millions of books without getting messy or slow, right? The next type, scalability testing. It checks if the system can grow when demand increases, right? Simply remember, scalability testing checks how well the system handles growth. For an example, think about a website. You gradually increases 100 users to 500 users, 500 users to 1000 users, 1000 to 5000, right? And maybe add more servers, right? Okay. Then check, does performance stay good? Does it handle growth smoothly, right? What are the purposes of this? Check system growth, maintain performance, ensure flexibility. It's like expanding a classroom to handle more students without losing quality. The next type is capacity testing. It checks the maximum limit the system can handle. Capacity testing finds how much load the system can handle before it breaks. For an example, think about a website. You increase users step by step. 10,000 users, okay. 5,000 users, also okay. But 10,000 users, slow, right? 15,000 users, system maybe crash, right? Now you know the maximum capacity. What are the purposes of this? Find system limit, know maximum users of data, and plan future scaling. It's like a checking how many people a hall can hold before it becomes overcrowded, right? The next testing type is configuration testing. It checks how the system works with different setups. Simply remember, configuration testing tests the system under different environments or settings. For an example, think about a website. You test it on different browsers like Chrome, Firefox, and different devices like mobile, laptop, and different servers, right? Then check, does it work everywhere? Which setup is best, right? What are the purposes of these? Ensure compatibility, find best configuration, detect environment related issues, right? It's like trying an app on different phones to see where it works best. The next type is failover testing. It checks what happens when the system fails and whether a backup takes over, right? Simply remember, ensures the system switches to a backup when something fails. For an example, think about a website. You shut down the main server. Then check, does the backup server start automatically? Does the system keep working? Its downtime minimum. What are the purposes of this? Ensure system reliability and reduce downtime. Check backup systems, right? It's like having a backup generator. When power goes off, the generator starts automatically, right? Next type is latency testing. right? It checks how fast the system responds after a request. Simply remember, it measures the delay between a request and the response, right? For an example, think about a website. You click a link, then check how long does the page take to load, and is it instant or slow? What are the purposes of this? Measure response time and ensure fast performance, improve user experience, right? It's like asking a question and seeing how fast anyone replies, right? Next type is stress recovery testing. Right. It checks how fast the system recovers after it crashes, right? Simply remember, measures how quickly a system returns to normal after failure, right? Think about a website. You overload it, too many users can crash system, right? Then reduce the load. Now check, does it recover quickly? Is everything working again? And how long does it take? What are the purposes of this? Check recovery speed, ensure system stability, and minimize downtime. It's like a person getting tired after heavy work and seeing how fast they recover. Okay, sorry, it should be stress recovery, right? Okay. The last type of performing testing times, right? Concurrency testing. It checks how the system handles many users at the same time. Simply remember that it tests if the system works correctly when multiple users act at the same time, right? For an example, think about a ticket booking system. 500 users try to book the same ticket at the same time. Then check, does the system handle all requests and errors or crashes? Any error or crashes, right? Does it avoid double booking, right? What are the purposes? Handle multiple users, prevent data conflicts, ensure system ability, right? It's like many students trying to enter classroom at the same time and checking if it stays unorganized. The next type of non-functionality testing is usability testing. It checks if the system is easy and comfortable to use, right? Usability testing checks how user-friendly a system is. For an example, think about an app. A user tries login, navigate pages, complete tasks, then check, is it easy? Is it confusing? Can users complete tasks quickly, right? Usability has